Howdy, folks, and welcome to our deep dive on blogging for SEO, y'all. We're going to be learning how to make your blog post climb Google's rankings faster than a honeysuckle vine. Think of this like a perch-sitting, sweet tea-sipping session, all about how to get your blog seen by the world.
That's right. We're going to break down SEO into bite-sized pieces so you can focus on what you do best, sharing your unique voice and expertise with the world.
Exactly. Now, you might be wondering, what even is SEO? Well, around these parts, we like to say, SEO stands for Better Listings on Google. It's all about making sure your blog posts show up when folks are searching for the kind of things you're writing about.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You've got this beautiful shop full of hand-stitched quilts and homemade jams. But if nobody knows how to find it, well, you're not going to have any customers. SEO is like putting up a big old sign on the highway, letting folks know what you got and why they should stop by.
So let's get down to brass tacks, y'all, and start with the first thing folks see. Your blog post title. This is like the nameplate on your front porch. It's got to be eye-catching. And tell folks what they're getting into.
Now, when it comes to titles, think about using what we call long-tail keywords. These are phrases folks are typing into Google when they're looking for something specific. For instance, how to bake a pecan pie from scratch is a lot more targeted than just pecan pie.
That makes sense. So instead of casting a wide net, we're using a fishing line with just the right bait, to hook the folks who are really interested in what we're offering.
Precisely. And the beauty of long-tail keywords is that folks using them are often closer to making a decision. They're not just browsing anymore. They're looking for answers and solutions. And if your blog post title matches what they're looking for, well, they're more likely to click on it.
So how do we find these magical long-tail keywords? Is there some secret Southern spell book we need?
Well, there ain't no spell book. But there are some mighty helpful tools available. Think of them like a dowsing rod for finding the right keywords. One of my favorites is called Google Keyword Planner. It's free to use, and it can show you how many folks are searching for certain keywords and how tough the competition is.
Competition? You mean like a pie-eating contest at the county fair?
In a way, yeah. Some keywords are highly sought after, meaning lots of folks are trying to rank for them. It can be tougher to stand out when there's a lot of competition. That's why long-tail keywords are so valuable. They're often less competitive, giving you a better chance of getting noticed.
So let's say I'm writing a blog post about how to make the best sweet tea in the South. Would I just type that into the keyword planner and see what comes up?
You could, but it's often helpful to be a bit more specific. Think about the different aspects of making sweet tea that folks might be searching for. Maybe they're looking for a recipe that uses a certain type of tea. Or maybe they're looking for tips on how to get the perfect sweetness level.
So instead of just sweet tea recipe, I might try something like best black tea for sweet tea, or how to sweeten iced tea without sugar.
Now you're getting it. By getting specific, you're targeting folks who are further down the funnel, so to speak. They're past the general research phase and are looking for concrete answers to their sweet tea dilemmas.
And once we've got our long-tail keywords figured out, we can start crafting that attention-grabbing blog post title.
Right. Remember, your title should be clear, concise, and accurately reflect what your post is about. Don't be afraid to use numbers or power words to make it stand out. For example, 5 secrets to brewing the perfect Southern sweet tea is more enticing than just sweet tea recipe.
Okay, so we've got our title looking sharp. Now let's move on to the meat and potatoes of our blog post, the content itself. What are some things we need to keep in mind to make sure it's as SEO-friendly as a plate of Grandma's biscuits?
Well, first off, remember that Google likes content that's fresh, relevant, and informative. Think of it like a garden. You got to keep tending to it, adding new content regularly to keep things growing.
So we can't just write one blog post and call it a day. We got to keep the content coming.
That's right. Consistency is key. But don't just churn out content for the sake of it. Make sure it's something your audience will find valuable and engaging. Think about the questions your readers might have, and try to provide helpful answers and insights.
So if I'm writing about Southern cooking, I might create blog posts with titles like How to Make a Flaky Buttermilk Biscuit or The Secret to Perfect Fried Chicken.
Exactly. Those are topics that folks are always going to be searching for, and they provide real value to your readers. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that Google also likes content that's well-structured and easy to read.
So it's not just about what we say, it's about how we say it.
You got it. Think of your blog post like a well-organized pantry. You wouldn't just throw all your ingredients in a big pile, would you?
Lord, no. My grandma would have a fit if she saw my pantry looking like that.
Well, Google feels the same way about messy content. Use headings, subheadings, bullet points, and short paragraphs to break things up and make it easier to digest.
So we're aiming for something that's both informative and visually appealing, like a beautiful pecan pie, delicious and pretty to look at.
Now you're talking. And just like a pecan pie needs a good crust, your blog post needs a strong introduction. This is where you hook your readers and let them know what they're in for.
So it's like the welcome mat on our front porch, inviting folks in and making them feel right at home.
Exactly. You want to make it clear what your post is about, why it's important, and what your readers will gain from reading it. And don't forget to sprinkle in those long tail keywords we talked about earlier.
Right. We want to make sure Google knows what our post is about so it can show it to the right folks.
Now, once you've got your introduction nailed down, it's time to dive into the body of your post. This is where you really get to share your expertise and provide valuable information to your readers. Just remember to keep it clear, concise, and engaging. No one wants to wade through a wall of text.
So short and sweet, just like a good glass of sweet tea.
You got it. Break up your content into digestible chunks. Use visuals to add interest. And don't be afraid to inject a little personality into your writing.
We want folks to feel like they're sitting on the porch, swing with us, sipping sweet tea and having a good old-fashioned conversation.
Exactly. Now, as you're writing, keep in mind that Google also pays attention to how long folks stay on your page.
You mean like how long they linger at the dinner table after we've finished eating?
Kinda. Google wants to see that folks are finding your content valuable and engaging enough to stick around and read it. So make sure you're providing in-depth information, answering questions thoroughly, and keeping your readers entertained.
So we want to create content that's so good, folks forget all about their chores and just sit there glued to our blog post, sipping on our words like they're sweet tea on a hot summer day.
Now you're talking. That's the kind of content that Google loves. And it's the kind of content that'll keep your readers coming back for more.
This is all making sense. But I'm starting to feel like SEO is a whole lot of work. Is there any way to make it a little easier?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because there's a little secret weapon we haven't talked about yet. AI. Artificial intelligence is like having a whole team of digital helpers working behind the scenes to make your blogging dreams come true.
AI. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. Is it really that powerful?
It sure is. AI can help you with everything, from keyword research to content creation to blog post optimization. Think of it like having a personal assistant who knows all the ins and outs of SEO.
So AI can help us find the right keywords, write engaging content, and make sure our blog posts are formatted correctly for Google.
You got it. It's like having a whole team of experts at your fingertips. And the best part is, a lot of these AI tools are free or very affordable.
That sounds like a game changer. Now, before we get too deep into the AI weeds, let's take a step back and talk about another important aspect of SEO, internal linking. What in tarnation is that?
Well, internal linking is simply the practice of linking to other pages within your own website. Think of it like building a network of pathways through your garden, connecting different areas and making it easy for folks to explore.
So instead of just having a bunch of standalone blog posts, we're creating a web of interconnected content.
That's right, and this is important for a couple of reasons. First, it helps Google understand the structure and hierarchy of your website, making it easier for them to crawl and index your pages. Second, it keeps folks on your website longer, increasing engagement and telling Google that your content is valuable.
So it's like a win-win situation for both Google and our readers.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to internal linking, there are a few best practices to keep in mind.
I'm all ears.
First, make sure your links are relevant and helpful. Don't just link to any old page for the sake of it. Think about what your readers might be interested in learning more about, and provide links to relevant content.
So if I'm writing about how to make sweet tea, I might include a link to another blog post about different types of tea, or a recipe for homemade biscuits to go with the sweet tea.
Now you're getting it. Those are relevant and helpful links that'll provide value to your readers.
All right, what else do we need to know about internal linking?
Well, another important thing is to use descriptive anchor text. Anchor text is the clickable text that makes up the link.
So instead of just saying click here, we want to use text that actually describes what the link is about.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying click here to learn more about sweet tea, you could say discover the history and traditions of Southern sweet tea.
That makes a lot more sense. And it probably helps Google understand what the linked page is about, right?
You got it. By using descriptive anchor text, you're giving Google more context about your content, which can help improve your search rankings.
So we're killing two birds with one stone, providing helpful links for our readers, and boosting our SEO at the same time.
Now you're talking. And that's the beauty of SEO. It's all about creating a website that's both user-friendly and search engine-friendly.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about long-tail keywords, crafting attention-grabbing titles, writing engaging content, and using internal linking to improve our SEO.
We've also touched on the power of AI and how it can make our lives as bloggers a whole lot easier.
I'm feeling a lot more confident about tackling SEO now. But before we wrap things up, is there anything else we need to know?
Well, there's one more important piece of the puzzle we need to discuss: how to actually publish our blog post and make sure Google can find it.
It's like a good place to pick up next time.
I'll say, y'all come back now. Yeah, here. We were talking about how to get that blog post up and shining bright for Google, right?
That's right. We covered all those fancy fixins, but now we got to serve it up right, wouldn't you say?
You got it. Now, when you're publishing your masterpiece in Blogger, there are a few technical tidbits to keep in mind. Think of it like adding the right spices to your grandma's famous gumbo. A pinch here, a dash there, and it all comes together just right.
All right, lay it on me. What kind of spices are we talking about?
Well, first off, we got to make sure that link Blogger creates from your title is as smooth as a buttered biscuit. Remember those Boolean words we talked about earlier? And, but, or.
Yeah, you said they can really mess things up.
They sure can. When Blogger creates your link, it uses the words in your title separated by hyphens. So if your title is high-heeled red women's shoes, the link will be high-heeled redwear-women's shoes.html. But if you throw in an and or a but, it can make that link look like a jumbled mess.
So keeping it clean and simple is the name of the game.
Precisely. You want your link to be easy to read for both folks and Google. Now, another important ingredient is setting your location. This is particularly important if you're a local business or if you're targeting folks in a specific area. Think of it like telling folks where your shop is located so they can find you easily.
That makes sense. If I'm blogging about the best barbecue joints in Memphis, I want folks in Memphis to find my blog, right?
You got it.
Right.
When you're publishing your blog post, make sure you set your location in the settings. This helps Google know where you are and shows your post to folks searching in your area.
So we've covered titles, content, formatting, links, and location. Anything else we need to check before hitting that publish button?
One last thing, that search description, it's like the little blurb on the back of a book that makes you want to dive right in. It's that snippet of text that shows up under your blog post title in the search results. And it's your chance to really entice folks to click on your link.
All right, so it's got to be as catchy as a firefly in a jar.
You got it. Make sure your search description accurately reflects what your post is about, includes your target keywords, and it's written in a way that's both informative and inviting. Think of it as the front porch swing of your blog post. Gotta make folks want to sit a spell.
So we've cooked up this delicious blog post, seasoned it just right with all our SEO spices. What's next?
Now it's time to share your masterpiece with the world. Spread the word like you're passing around a plate of warm biscuits at a Sunday social. And what better way to do that than through social media?
So we're talking Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all the places where folks gather around.
Exactly. Share your blog post on all your social media platforms, and don't be shy about telling folks what it's about and why they should give it a read. Think of it like ringing the dinner bell, inviting everyone to the table.
But once we've shared our post, we can't just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
We got to make sure folks are actually coming to the feast.
You're right. It's important to keep an eye on those blog statistics. See what's working, what ain't, and adjust your recipe accordingly.
So it's like checking to see which dishes are getting gobbled up the fastest at the potluck.
Exactly. Pay attention to your page views, bounce rate, time on site, all those little indicators that tell you how folks are interacting with your blog.
Hold on. What in the world is bounce rate? You're losing me with all these fancy terms.
Oh, my apologies. Bounce rate is just a way of saying how many folks are clicking on your blog post and then hightailing it out of there without reading anything. It's like someone coming to your door, taking one look, and then skedaddling without even saying howdy.
Oh, I get it now. So a high bounce rate means our blog post ain't holding folks' attention.
That's right. It could be that your title and search description aren't matching up with the content. Or maybe the content itself ain't as engaging as it could be.
And what about time on site?
That's just a measure of how long folks are spending on your blog post. The longer they stay, the better, because it tells Google that they're finding your content valuable and interesting. It's like having folks lingering on your porch, sipping sweet tea, and chatting the afternoon away.
So we want folks to feel like they're sitting a spell, not just making a quick pick stop.
Exactly. Now, using these blog statistics can help you see what's working and what ain't. Maybe you need to tweak your titles, add more visuals, or create content on a different topic. It's all about learning and growing, just like a garden in the springtime.
So blogging is an ongoing process, not just a one-time thing.
That's right. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of love to cultivate a successful blog. But don't you worry. With a little bit of know-how and a whole lot of heart, you'll be blogging like a pro in no time.
This has been mighty helpful. I'm feeling a lot more confident about blogging for SEO now. But before we go, you mentioned something about AI being a secret weapon for bloggers. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Of course. AI can be a real game changer for bloggers, especially when it comes to the technical aspects of SEO. Think of it like having a trusty hound dog by your side, helping you sniff out the best keywords and keeping your content on track.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how this AI hound dog can help us out.
So we were talking about how AI can be a real game changer for us bloggers, right?
Mm-hmm. Like having a whole team of digital helpers working behind the scenes, right? Making sure our blog is looking its best. For Google and for our readers.
That's right.
I'm still a little fuzzy on how exactly we use AI for blogging, though.
Okay.
Can you give me, like, some concrete examples?
Sure. Let's start with keyword research. There are some AI-powered tools out there that can analyze search trends, and they can tell you which keywords are most popular in your niche. They can also help you find those long-tail keywords. Remember those more specific phrases that folks are searching for when they're ready to buy?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So instead of us just guessing which keywords to use, we can just let the AI do the heavy lifting for us.
You got it. These tools can save you a ton of time and effort, and they can really help you make sure that you're targeting the right folks with your content.
That sounds mighty helpful. What about content creation? Can AI really help us, like, write blog posts?
Well, AI ain't going to replace your unique voice and creativity,
Right.
but it can certainly lend a helping hand. There are AI-powered writing assistants. They can help you generate ideas. They can help you structure your post. And they can even suggest different phrasing.
So it's almost like having a virtual writing partner, huh?
Exactly. These tools can help you overcome writer's block and improve your grammar and style, and also make sure your content is clear and engaging.
I'm starting to see how AI can really be a time saver. What about blog post optimization? Can AI help us with that too?
Absolutely. There are tools that can analyze your blog post, and they can suggest improvements based on those SEO best practices. They can help you make sure your titles are catchy, your headings are clear, your content is well structured, and your keywords are used effectively.
So it's like having a digital SEO consultant on call, 24/7.
You got it. These tools can really help you take the guesswork out of SEO and make sure your blog posts are optimized for both Google and your readers.
All right, I'm convinced AI sounds like a must-have for any serious blogger.
Ah,
But with so many different tools out there, how do we know which ones to choose?
that's a great question. And it really depends on your specific needs and budget. Some tools are free, while others require a subscription. Some focus on keyword research, while others specialize in content creation or optimization.
So it's kind of like going to a pie auction. There are all sorts of delicious options, but we got to choose the one that best suits our taste and our budget.
That's a mighty fine analogy. And just like with pies, it's always a good idea to try a few different AI tools before you settle on one. Most tools offer free trials or limited free plans, so you can kind of test the waters before you commit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ah.
Now, before we wrap things up, I got to ask, is there anything else we need to know about using AI for blogging?
Well, just remember that AI is a tool, not a magic wand. It can help you streamline your blogging process and improve your results, but it's still up to you to create that valuable, engaging content that your readers are gonna love.
So AI can help us work smarter, not harder.
You got it. AI can take care of the technical heavy lifting so you can focus on what you do best, sharing your unique voice and expertise with the world.
This has been a real eye-opener. I'm excited to start exploring the world of AI and see how it can help me take my blog to the next level.
That's the spirit. Don't forget to use AI to do the heavy lifting for you. Y'all come back now, you hear. We'll have more tips and tricks to help you become a blog and SEO superstar.